Have you ever wondered why people sometimes vanish? Not when you upset them, but when you finally show who you really are. You might think you said too much, revealed too much, or became too intense. But the real reason is far darker, rooted in a part of the psyche most people will never face. Carl Jung called it the shadow, and he warned, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Let's get brutally honest about human nature. We all wear a mask. Jung called this mask the persona. He wrote, "The persona is a kind of mask, designed on the one hand to make a definite impression upon others, and on the other to conceal the true nature of the individual." Every day, most people play a role. Polite, agreeable, never too loud, never too raw. But what happens when you finally drop your act and reveal what's beneath the mask? Maybe it was a moment of anger. Maybe it was a confession about your fears, your dreams, or your sadness. You let someone see your real self. For a brief moment, the air feels electric. Then suddenly, they grow distant. The energy shifts. You replay the memory, wondering, was I too much? But what if the real answer is this? You were the only one in the room who was truly awake. Jung taught that beneath the mask, every person carries a shadow, the hidden part of ourselves we deny, reject, or try to keep unconscious. It's the anger we repress, the envy we bury, the shame we hide, the pain we ignore. Jung wrote, "Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is." When you live authentically, you don't just show your light, you risk awakening other people's shadows. Here's the cold reality. Most people aren't running from you. They're running from the reflection you provide. You act as a psychological mirror. Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. When you are honest about your wounds, your intensity, or your boundaries, you force others to see their own denied parts. And for some, that's unbearable. This is shadow projection in action. Jung explained, projection is one of the commonest psychic phenomena. The whole world is, so to speak, reflected in our own souls. Instead of dealing with their own guilt, insecurity, or fear, people throw it onto you. If you're too emotional, they might call you dramatic, when really, your emotion activates something they don't want to face within themselves. Have you noticed how the most emotionally available people are often the loneliest? If you're always the one saying yes, always picking up the phone, always rescuing, you become invisible, not seen for your truth, but valued for your role. And the day you pull back, when you stop explaining, stop rescuing, and start living for yourself, suddenly people panic, criticize, or even vanish. Jung observed, loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself. Why does this happen? Because when you step out of your role, you disrupt the game. People who depended on your emotional labor, your validation, or your availability start to feel lost. Your silence, your boundaries, your refusal to play along. They feel like aggression, even if they are acts of self-care. This is the dark psychology of human connection. People are conditioned from childhood to think that being loved means being available, being useful, never saying no. Jung called this psychic energy. He wrote, The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insolvable. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. Most people never outgrow the need to avoid discomfort. So when you challenge them with your authenticity, you expose a raw nerve. That's why, sometimes, the moment you show your real self, people project their discomfort back onto you. You become difficult, negative, too much, or even selfish. But their reaction is not about you. It's about their own refusal to look inward. Jung saw this everywhere in society. He wrote, "We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses." The more you grow, the more you outgrow your old roles, the more others may try to pull you back, to guilt you, to criticize, or to withdraw altogether. But Jung warned, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. Individuation, Jung's term for becoming a whole person, requires discomfort and solitude. You have to face your own shadow. You have to be willing to lose people who only wanted you for the role you played. You have to be misunderstood, even avoided, for being real. Here's the paradox. The more you chase acceptance, the less you are truly seen. The more you perform, the more you disappear from your own life. Jung wrote, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. But when you do, you finally reclaim your power." So, the next time someone pulls away after you get real, remember, it is not your truth that scares them. It's the shadow your honesty awakens in their soul. You are not rejected for being too much. You are avoided for being a mirror. This is the dark lesson Jung left us with. The world doesn't need more people who play a part. It needs more people who are willing to face their own shadow and let others do the same. But not everyone is ready for that kind of honesty. Not everyone is ready for someone who stops performing and starts living. You don't have to be available for everyone. You don't have to be understood by those who are committed to denial. You owe no one an explanation for your boundaries or your authenticity. Jung wrote, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." If you are tired of being a mirror for other people's wounds, if you're done being everyone's emotional emergency exit, if you're ready to risk loneliness for the sake of wholeness, welcome to the path of individuation. If you want more real insights into Jung, dark psychology, and the power of living unmasked, subscribe for more. Share your story in the comments. Who did you lose when you finally became real? And remember, when you stop being the mask, you force the world to see your soul. Not everyone can handle that. But the ones who can will meet you where you truly are.